The message came through at 7:42 a.m., just as the coffee maker clicked off. "Darling, your mom changed the password. I can't use her card anymore." Maya stared at the screen, the warmth of the mug fading in her hands. For a moment, she thought she'd misread it. She read it again, slower this time, every word landing heavier than the last. Her husband's name sat above the message, familiar, comforting, yet the words beneath it felt like an accusation dressed up as a complaint. She didn't reply right away. Outside, the morning was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that made thoughts louder. The card. Of course it was about the card. Maya had known this day would come. She just hadn't expected it to announce itself so casually, like a minor inconvenience instead of the spark that would set everything on fire. When she finally typed back, her fingers moved faster than her thoughts. "What do you mean you can't use her card anymore?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. She changed the password on the banking app. "I tried this morning. It declined. I asked her, and she said it's private now." Private. Maya let out a short, humorless laugh. She placed the phone face down on the counter, as if that might keep the words from spreading through the kitchen, through her chest, through the careful balance she had been maintaining for years. Her mother-in-law, Eleanor, believed nothing within a family was ever truly private. Not money. Not decisions. Not boundaries. And yet, this was new. Maya's anger didn't come all at once. It crept in slowly, winding itself around old memories. The first time Eleanor had insisted on paying for their groceries, just this once. The way, just this once, turned into a habit. The casual comments about how Maya didn't need to work so hard, because family takes care of its own. The quiet expectation that gratitude meant obedience. Eleanor's money had never been free. It came with strings so thin they were invisible, until you tried to move. Maya picked up her phone again. "And you're upset about this?" she typed. The reply came almost instantly. "Of course I am. It's her card, but she said we could use it. Now she's just changed it. Without telling us. I needed it today." Needed it. For what, Maya wondered, though she already knew. A new gadget. Another upgrade. Something unnecessary, justified by the comforting belief that someone else would absorb the cost. She felt heat rise in her chest, sharp and sudden now. "Did it occur to you," she typed carefully, "that maybe she doesn't want to be responsible for our expenses anymore?" There was a pause this time. Longer. The kind that carried irritation. "That's not fair," she offered. "And now you're acting like she's the victim." Maya closed her eyes. This was how it always went. Money blurred lines. Responsibility dissolved. And somehow, she always ended up cast as the unreasonable one for wanting clarity. She thought of Eleanor sitting in her immaculate living room, sunlight glinting off polished furniture, phone in hand. Changing the password with a calm sense of finality. Or maybe with hesitation. Maya couldn't decide which was worse. What she did know was this: Eleanor changing that password wasn't just about money. It was about control. And control, once challenged, never went quietly. Maya typed one last message. "I'm not acting like anyone's a victim. I'm saying this is her boundary. And maybe it's time we respected it." The reply didn't come. Minutes passed. Then 10. Then 20. Maya stood alone in the kitchen, the untouched coffee growing cold, a familiar ache settling in her stomach. She wasn't just angry. She was tired. Tired of conversations that circled the same truths without ever touching them. Tired of being the only one who seemed to notice how unhealthy it all was. When her phone finally buzzed, the message was shorter. "She's always liked you less. I knew this would happen." There it was. The shift. The quiet attempt to turn her into the enemy. Maya sank into a chair, her pulse thudding in her ears. Eleanor's approval had always been conditional, but Maya had never believed it was personal. Now, she wasn't so sure. Or maybe she was, about something else entirely. This wasn't about favoritism. It was about fear. Fear of losing relevance. Fear of losing power. Fear of being needed less. And fear, Maya knew, could make people do things far more destructive than changing a password. She looked around the kitchen, the life she had built piece by piece, without borrowed money, without invisible chains. She had wanted a marriage rooted in partnership, not dependence. Somewhere along the way, that vision had been compromised. The card declining was just the first crack. Maya felt it then, deep and certain. This was the beginning of something that couldn't be undone. And by the time the truth fully surfaced, none of them would be able to pretend it was ever just about a password.